Hey everybody, Snake Doc here. Thanks for tuning in. I just got that Sig Sauer slide in my sight pusher here, and I'm about to push the sight out to the left. They go in left to right on Sigs, so I'm going to push it out right to left. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the front because the slide is so long right there that it doesn't fit in unless I remove this block right here. So I'm going to have to see if I can do it. I might have to do the hammer and punch method on that. But what I'm about to do is get a socket on there, and then I'm going to be tightening, and as I tighten it's going to pull across. So let me set my ratchet here, and then I'll do this on camera for you. So there we can see the sight starting to move. Sorry, this is like ridiculous to do one hand. I don't have my tripod over here. But there you can see it's pushing it out. And that's a 3/4 inch socket on there. So it's more than halfway across. Thing is, I think my slide is too low. I gotta move it up, otherwise that sight's gonna bind on that block right there. So let me do a couple more cranks here off camera, and I'll get that rear sight out, and I'll see if I can get the front set up. I'm gonna try, so stand by. So here I want to show you I got the sight out, and actually the sight's still on the pusher here, so I will pop that out of there. But what I wanted to show you was what I do is I take a straight edge on the stock wherever the sights were that were on the pistol, and I put that tape on the slide, and then I put a straight edge against there, and then I mark it with a mechanical pencil, and that way I know when I put my new sights on. The only time you're going to run into problem is if they're not the same dimensionally, but that gives you a good reference point for where you want your center to be. So I'll get this cleaned up and try pressing on the new TruGlo sight here, and I'll be back when I get that accomplished. So thanks. Okay, so here's the TruGlo rear, and it does have a set screw on it. It's not protruding right now. You can see, sorry about that focus. There it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try inserting here and seeing how far I can get it. So we're going to try the pusher and see if I can do it without any filing on there. And I just got to get the we have the pusher set up now. I just had to spin it around, so I'm going to set the slide in there and get that in place, and then I'll come back when I'm ready to start cranking on there. Oh, I want that focus. There we go. So now we can see, other than that little piece of tape string I have sticking up there, I have my pusher. I'm working in left to right, and I have clearance to the top of the sight to the pusher itself. So I'm going to start cranking and see if I can get that thing to move. Stand by. So it's making progress. And it looks like I'm almost centered. Sorry. So I'm going to pull it out and check that for center and see if I need to move it just a tad yet. But yeah, that pushed across there, no problem. So it looks like I do need to push a little bit more. So I'm going to just push it just a little bit more and then check it. So there it is. And so now what you can do is just check it with your straight edge if you'd like. And mine is hitting right on my mark on both sides. So I know I'm good. So now I can just tighten down my set screw on here. It's usually like a 2.5 or a 3mm Allen key. And then off camera, I'm gonna see what I got to do here about this front one, because I don't think that with that extra lug that's hanging down there that holds the recoil spring, the slide is too tall to fit in the pusher the way it is. So I'm gonna see if I can get the clamp part of the pusher to squeeze on the slide and not worry about the lower portion for support. So I'm gonna try that, and if that works, then I'll be right back. So hang on. So I'm sort of able to do it, but you can see where the slide is kind of cocking down. So as I start pushing that front sight over, which I'm doing right now, when I tighten this down, it doesn't have that support, so this rotates. And so when I get to a certain point, that sight is probably going to hit this block on this side. So at least if I get it most of the way out, I can usually just tap it out with a nylon punch. So it already started moving a little bit right now, so we're going to keep going until I can't anymore. So I was able to get it that far before it started binding on that other block. And no matter what I did to try and rotate the slide so that it would go over, when I started to put pressure on it, it would just rotate this. So to use that pusher on Sig slides, it looks like I would have to kind of fab up a block that I could use on there of my own. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish tapping that out. It's basically there. I might even be able to do it with just my hand. And then I'll get the new front sight in, and I'll show you the final. Okay, so got it finished up. I ended up using a brass, let me see here, where did I put that? So I took a brass punch and covered the end of it with some Gorilla Tape, and just to get this started, because it's really narrow. So I got that started with that and just used light taps with a brass hammer. And then I finagled it into the pusher, and what I ended up doing was turning that sideways so that that block wouldn't rotate. And then I wedged that in there and put the pusher up against it and pushed it the rest of the way. So you can see I took the tape off. I just got to wipe the slide down now, and everything's centered up. So now I just got to tighten down my set screw here, and my sight install is done. So it only took about 10 minutes. And what a huge difference, right? So my dead night sights, I guess you can send them into Trigicon and they'll relamp them for like $60. But I don't want night sights on this gun because it's just like a range gun, and I just love fiber optics. So the fiber optics that I used are a TruGlo. It's a Sig 6 front and an 8 rear fiber optic. Part number is TG131S2. There's the UPC if you want to look them up. These sights are like usually around $40, $40 to $45, somewhere around there. I highly recommend them. Thanks for watching, guys. Always shoot safe.